Hello everyone, I'm Chaya. Today I will talk about evaluating arguments and truth claims, the eighth chapter of the critical thinking book. The lecture consists of four main headings and three subheadings. Have a good listen in advance. Before I start, I want to change place of my camera. It's okay. I'm starting with the first main heading. When is an argument a good one? Arguments can be good or bad in various ways. To help us understand what a good argument is from the standpoint of critical thinking, we begin by spelling out a few things that a good argument is not. I'm starting with the first subheading as what good argument does not mean. A good argument does not necessarily mean agreeing with one's own views, as it can lead to closed-mindedness and hinder critical thinking. A good argument does not necessarily mean a persuasive argument, as not all arguments are meant to persuade. Bad arguments often persuade, while good ones often fall on deaf ears. Additionally, a good argument does not necessarily mean being well written or well spoken, as some bad arguments possess literary merits, but are flawed from the standpoint of critical reasoning. For example, a subtly deceptive political speech may be a masterpiece of theoretical skill, but still be flawed from the standpoint of critical reasoning. There is an example on the screen. I have a monopoly on truth. Anyone who disagrees with me must be wrong. That example shows everything what I want to tell you. And I'm going with the second subheading is what good argument does mean. A good argument from the standpoint of critical thinking is an argument that meets two conditions. All the premises are true and the premises provide good reasons to accept the conclusion. An argument is either deductively valid or inductively strong, and those that are both deductively valid and have all true premises are called deductively sound. However, this definition is not fully adequate. To be considered a good argument, it must meet certain basic critical thinking standards, such as clarity, precision, accuracy, relevance, consistency, logical correctness, completeness, and fairness. A good argument must also satisfy the relevant critical thinking standards that apply in particular context. The most important of these standards are accuracy and logical correctness. Is the argument deductively valid or inductively strong? Is the reasoning correct? Is related to the correctness. Other critical thinking standards must also be taken into account, including clarity, precision, relevance, consistency, completeness, and fairness. And there is an example on the screen, as you can see. Imagine, for example, that you are the dean of students at Wexford College, and you write the following letter to the parents of a student, Binger Boozley, explaining why their son has been expelled from college. Dear Mr. and Mr. Boozley, this letter is to inform you that your son, Binger Boozley, has been expelled from Wexford College. I deem this action to be necessary for the following reasons. First, Paris is the capital of France. Second, the capital of France is Paris. Third, Binger deserved to be expelled. Four, Binger earned Fs in all his classes and was continuously drunk from the first day of classes to the last day of final exams. Five, any student who earns Fs in all his classes and is continuously drunk from the first day of classes to the last day of final exams deserves to be expelled. Six, therefore, Binger deserved to be expelled. To evaluate an argument, one should consider the following general guidelines. Are the premises true? Is the reasoning correct? Is the argument deductively valid or inductively strong? Is the arguer committing analogical fallacies? Do the arguers' points clearly and precisely express their points? Are the premises relevant to the conclusion? Is the argument complete? Is the argument fair? In summary, a good argument from the standpoint of critical thinking must meet certain critical thinking standards. And I'm continuing with the when is it reasonable to accept a premise. The concept of rational acceptance is a complex issue that requires careful consideration of the premises of a claim. For example, if a claim is unsupported and cannot be verified for itself, it is reasonable to accept it. The principle of rational acceptance states that a claim is reasonable if it does not conflict with personal experiences, background beliefs, or a credible source. This principle is a general summary of the principle of rational acceptance, which can be further explored in later chapters. And there is another three main heading for this subject. The first one is, does the claim conflict with our personal experiences? People often place too much trust in their own observations and experiences, which can lead to overestimation of their reliability. Factors such as poor physical conditions, sensory impairments, observers' poor physical condition, unreliable measuring instruments, and memory failures can affect our observations. Additionally, beliefs, hopes, fears, expectations, and biases can affect our observations. For example, children may see monsters in the closet. Sports fans may perceive the referees as partial coffee drinkers, may feel more alert, and teachers may expect better performance. Personal experiences are often less reliable than we think. There's an example. Children may see monsters in the closet. Sports fans may perceive the referees as partial. Coffee drinkers may feel more alert, and teachers may expect better performance. You can keep in mind. And continue with the second one. Does the claim conflict with our background beliefs? Sometimes a claim doesn't conflict with personal observations or experiences, but conflicts with certain background beliefs. These beliefs are a network of conscious and unconscious conditions used to assess the credibility of claims. If a claim fits well with our background beliefs, it is reasonable to accept it. However, most people place too much confidence in the accuracy of their background beliefs, leading to unreliable beliefs. Critical thinkers prioritize having accurate and well-grounded background beliefs, never believing without sufficient evidence and never believing more strongly than the evidence warrants. There's an example on the screen. It was hot in Las Vegas last 4th of July. It's quite believable given background information most of us share about midsummer weather conditions in a Nevada desert. The claim it snowed in Las Vegas last 4th of July, however, would rightly be rejected out of hand unless it was accompanied by strong supporting evidence. The last head in the subject is, does the claim come from a credible source? Many of our beliefs are based on testimony or authority, but few of us personally verify these claims. Critical thinkers must decide when it is reasonable to accept a claim based on another's testimony or authority. A credible source should be accepted if there is no good reason to doubt it. Reasons to doubt a source's credibility include not being a genuine expert, speaking outside their area of expertise, being biased, questioning personal observations, being contained in unreliable sources, not being cited correctly, issues that cannot be resolved by expert opinion, or highly improbable claims. The principle of rational acceptance applies only to claims unsupported by arguments that impossible or not worthwhile to verify for ourselves. I'm continuing with another head, refuting arguments. Refutation of an argument involves defeating it by proving that the premises do not provide convincing reasons to accept the conclusion. There are two main ways to refute an argument. First, showing that a premise or critical group of premises is false or dubious. And second one is showing that the conclusion does not follow from the premises. I'm continuing with the strategy one. To refute an argument, one can show that a premise or a critical group of premise is false or dubious. For example, if an argument is valid but contains false or irrelevant premises, it can be refuted by showing that one or more of its critical premises is false. For example, if an argument has two premises that are critical to its conclusion, it can be refuted by proving that the second premise is false. Alternatively, some arguments then can be refuted by selectively targeting the essential premises, which are essential to the argument's success. This strategy can help to knock out the conclusion support and make the argument more convincing. Refuting false premises is a common strategy to defeat an argument. One can show that one or more of its premises are dubious or open to significant doubt. Techniques include appealing to personal experience, common knowledge, repeatable references, self-contradictory statements, conflicts with other premises based on unwarranted assumptions, or personal demonstrations. Reducing to absurd and refutation by counterexamples are also useful techniques in refuting false or dubious premises. I'm continuing with the strategy 2. I'm sorry. There's the example. All presidents live in the White House. Paris Hilton is president, so Paris Hilton lives in the White House. Now I'm continuing with the strategy 2. To refute an argument, show that the reasoning is faulty and the conclusion does not follow properly from the premises. Assess the logic of an argument by determining if the conclusion follows necessarily from the premises, if the premises are relevant to the conclusion, and if the premises are sufficient to support the conclusion. In real-life situations, it's important to consider whether the premises provide evidence for the conclusion, often by sitting on evidence. And the example of the strategy 2, get high-speed internet access by satellite, is fast, reliable, and won't tie up your phone lines. All mothers should stay home with their young kids. It will promote closer family ties. And studies show that children with stay-at-home moms do better in school, have higher self-esteem, and are less likely to get involved with drugs or commit crimes. The last main heading is appendix symbol critical essay. Below is a simple critical essay written by us. Jamie Kendall is a pseudonym. The essay is a critical analysis of a short piece we wrote on academic cheating. Portions of the critical essay are adapted from the preamble to the King's College Academic Integrity Policy, written by our college, Regan Lance, Retisma. Here is a cheating essay followed by our critical analysis. Thank you for listening to me.